Two of the most effective military forces in human history never met on a battlefield. They existed more than 1,000 years apart. One conquered the Mediterranean through discipline, engineering, and the most organized infantry doctrine the ancient world had ever seen. The other conquered the largest contiguous land empire in history through mobility, deception, and psychological warfare. This is what happens when they meet. 10,000 Roman legionaries from the height of the empire, 1st century AD, against 10,000 Mongol riders from the Khwarezmian campaign, 1220 AD. Open terrain on the Central Asian steppe in summer. No reinforcements. One battle. Before we go further, it is worth noting that a version of this battle already happened. In 53 BC, a Roman army of roughly 40,000 legionaries under Marcus Licinius Crassus met a Parthian force of 10,000 horse archers and cataphracts at the Battle of Carrhae. The Parthian tactics were nearly identical to what Mongol doctrine would become 1,000 years later. Mounted archers refusing to close, continuous long-range fire, strategic envelopment. The Roman army was destroyed. Crassus was killed. 7 legionary eagles were captured. It remains one of the most catastrophic defeats in Roman history. What follows is not speculation. It is a known outcome with a different brand name. The Romans. Professional heavy infantry. Every legionary carries a scutum shield capable of stopping arrows and deflecting blades, a gladius for close quarters fighting, 2 pila javelins designed to pierce shields at 15 to 30 meters, and body armor in either mail or segmented plate. They are organized into centuries of 80 men, grouped into cohorts, commanded by centurions who have survived years of combat to earn their position. Roman doctrine is built on formation fighting. The legion advances as a single disciplined mass, throws pila at close range, closes into sword range, and grinds the enemy down through superior training and shield work on terrain that suits them. Narrow fields, riverbanks, urban combat. The Roman legion is nearly unbeatable. They defeated the Gauls, the Carthaginians, and every tribal confederation that stood in their path. They also have cavalry, auxilia units attached to the legion, but only about 300 horsemen for this force. Cavalry is not the Roman speciale. Their strength is on foot, in formation, with the man to their left and right holding the line. The Mongols, 10,000 light cavalry, every soldier mounted, every soldier an archer. Each Mongol rider carries a composite recurve bow with a draw weight comparable to the English longbow, an effective combat range of 150 to 200 meters, and a maximum range beyond 300 meters. Each rider has 4 or 5 horses, allowing him to ride for days without exhausting any single mount. Their diet, their saddles, and their tactics are all optimized for sustained mobility. Mongol doctrine is the opposite of Roman doctrine. They do not close with the enemy. They do not hold ground. They ride in loose formation, fire arrows at range, withdraw before contact, and return when the enemy is tired and disorganized. Their signature move, the feigned retreat, lured Russian, Persian, Chinese, and Eastern European armies into pursuing pullback formations for days before turning and destroying them. They fight as a coordinated swarm, guided by signal flags and relay riders, capable of executing complex maneuvers across kilometers of terrain. And they are commanded by Genghis Khan himself, a general who never lost a major campaign, who captured enemy technologies and adapted them within weeks, and who understood that every army has a weakness. You simply have to find it. The battle. The engagement opens at dawn on open grassland. The summer sun on the Central Asian steppe pushes temperatures past 35 degrees Celsius by mid-morning. The Roman legion forms its standard battle line, 3 ranks deep, centuries shoulder to shoulder, auxiliary cavalry on the flanks. The centurion signals the advance, and 10,000 legionaries begin marching in formation toward the Mongol position. The Mongols are not in a position, they are moving. The entire force is already mounted and flowing around the Roman advance in a wide arc, staying beyond 150 meters. No line to attack, no flank to engage, just a constantly shifting cloud of horsemen who refuse to hold ground. The first arrows come from 180 meters. The legionaries raise their shields and lock formation. Most arrows strike wood and glance off. Some find gaps between shields and wound soldiers in the front ranks. But the volume is the problem. 10,000 archers firing 6 to 10 arrows per minute produces a sustained rain of several thousand arrows per minute falling onto the Roman formation. The shields are designed to stop arrows. They are not designed to stop arrows continuously, for hours, from every direction at once. The Romans do what Romans do. They advance. The legion pushes forward in disciplined formation, attempting to close into the 15 to 30 meter range where their pila become decisive. The pila are their answer to massed infantry, heavy javelins that pierce shields and bend on impact, neutralizing enemy shield walls before the gladius work begins. The Mongols never come within 150 meters. The pila are never thrown. An entire weapon system in the Roman loadout, one of the most effective anti-infantry javelins in ancient warfare, is rendered useless by an enemy that simply refuses to enter its range. The legion keeps advancing. Every step the Romans take forward, the Mongol line moves backward at the speed of a trotting horse. Faster than a man in full armor can walk, the Romans cannot close the distance. The arrows never stop. The Mongol horses are still fresh. The Roman soldiers are carrying 40 kilograms of armor and equipment across open ground in the summer heat. After 2 hours, the first Roman soldiers begin to fall from heat exhaustion. Not from wounds, from the effort of marching in armor under constant fire toward an enemy who will not stand and fight. Personal canteens are running dry. The water reserves in the baggage train cannot reach the front ranks because the baggage train is now being harassed by a Mongol detachment that has worked around to the Roman rear. The Mongol casualty rate is nearly zero. The Roman casualty rate is climbing. Genghis Khan sees what he needs to see, the adaptation. He orders a portion of his force, perhaps 3,000 riders, to continue the harassment from the front. The remaining 7,000 split into 2 wings and ride wide around the Roman flanks, disappearing beyond visual range. The Roman cavalry on the flanks attempts to respond but is outnumbered 10 to 1 and cannot pursue without leaving the legion exposed. Within an hour, the Mongol wings have ridden a full circle around the Roman position and are now firing arrows into the legion from behind. The Romans cannot form a defensive square. The hollow infantry square, the tactic Napoleon's soldiers would use to defeat cavalry 1,800 years later, did not exist in Roman doctrine. They attempt to face outward in all directions, but this breaks the formation discipline that makes the legion dangerous. The tight ranks loosen, gaps appear. Arrows begin finding soldiers who can no longer rely on the shield of the man beside them. By mid-afternoon, the legion is taking arrows from every direction. The men are exhausted, water is gone, and the formation that defined Roman warfare is disintegrating under conditions it was never designed to fight in. The final hour is not a battle. It is the careful dismantling of a trapped force by an enemy who has time, mobility, and unlimited arrows. The Roman legionaries who survive the day do so because the Mongols choose to take prisoners, not because the Romans resisted effectively. The outcome: the Roman legion is destroyed without ever closing to melee range. Final casualties are estimated at 70 to 80% killed or wounded. The Mongols lose perhaps 300 riders across the entire engagement, a casualty rate of 3%. This outcome would not change with different terrain, different commanders, or different Roman tactics. Khwarezmian proved it in 53 BC. The Roman legion was built to fight other infantry armies on ground the Romans chose. Against a fully mounted enemy that refuses to engage on those terms, there is no tactical adjustment available. Roman discipline, Roman engineering, and Roman equipment were all designed for a kind of battle that the Mongols simply refused to give them. The only scenario where the Romans win is in confined terrain, a narrow pass, a forest, an urban environment, where Mongol mobility is neutralized and the legion can force close-quarters combat. In open ground, no ancient infantry force ever defeated the Mongol horse archer system. Not Russian knights, not Persian cataphracts, not Chinese imperial armies. The Romans would not have been the exception. Genghis Khan would have studied the legion with genuine interest. He respected disciplined enemies, and Rome produced some of the most disciplined soldiers in history. He would have recognized the quality of their training, the effectiveness of their engineering, and the value of their organizational doctrine. And then he would have done what he always did with superior enemy systems: captured their engineers, studied their methods, and folded whatever was useful into his own army. The Roman legion conquered the Mediterranean. The Mongol army conquered most of Asia. They fought different wars in different centuries against different enemies. When those two systems meet on open ground, the answer is the same one that every cavalry-based army has proven against every infantry-based army throughout history. Mobility wins.